lats, lower back, into our glutes, right up to our diaphragm. Okay, so kind of all that area. So we will be looking at a little bit of hip activation, a little bit of glute engagement, as well as obviously our abdominals. So sometimes I will say core when I mean to say abdominals, but you'll get the gist. Why do we focus on core? So not just as athletes, but in general, our core muscles are basically our powerhouse or engine of our body. And if we can get them dialed in, we're going to avoid any little niggles kind of on the lower limbs, upper limbs, arms, right up to the up through the spine into the neck. So if we can have this part of ourselves nice and strong, nice strong posture, so we're keeping that kind of form within our day-to-day movements, but then again transferring that into our sport. So if we can hold our form as long as possible, that we're not falling in to our hips, that we're not kind of sticking our belly out, we're not crunching into our lower back, we're going to avoid a lot of injuries and a lot of niggles and a lot of pain. One big thing with the core, if you notice, again I'll get used to doing maybe this later, when we are just in a normal stance, often a very Western posture is for the belly to hang out. We kind of have a little bit of lordosis into the spine, so we're crunching into the lower back. We've got a little bit of tightness here. So that's when you think about it, if we're tight here, that's pulling on our glutes. So it's weakening our glutes and it's lengthening our hamstrings. So our hamstrings might feel tight, but they're actually over lengthened. Our belly is going to be loose, so it's very hard for us then to engage into those abdominals or those core muscles. So often when we talk about core engagement, we're actually talking about helping our pelvis tilt forward, so we can take the pressure off the lower back and we can actually engage those abdominals, and then we get that nice long spine. When we do the core work that we might have done traditionally, say your crunches, where you're kind of curling over into your lower back, in the class this evening, we're going to be trying to activate our lower back muscles as we engage with the core. So we're trying to keep this really even strength balance from front to back. So again, I'm not going to talk too much about it because I will be tapping in it as we go through the class. So we can start in easy cross-legged. Again, if easy cross-legged doesn't feel good, feel free to keep the knees together, sit back up onto the heels. Try to keep a nice long spine here. And we'll start with 3 nice active opening breaths. So we're opening the palms to the ceiling, drawing the shoulders up toward the ears, and then drawing them together down the spine. Try to engage with the abdominals here. Nice long spine. Imagine on a piece of string at the crown of your head. So think about a nice release into the neck here, slight tuck of the chin. We're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up. Interlocking fingers, pressing palms to the ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward, stretching through the shoulders. Inhale, arms out, reaching up. See if we can bring those arms back in line with the ears. Interlocking fingers. Exhale, pressing it away. Last one. Inhale, arms out, reaching up. Nice big half circle. Exhale, pressing it forward and release. We're going to come up one more time. Inhale, arms out, reaching up, interlocking fingers. Exhale, pressing palms to the ceiling. We're going to inhale, really lengthen through the spine. And as we exhale, we're going to hinge to the right. So we're going to press the full body to the left, and just the arms are reaching to the right here. So hips are to the left, shoulders to the left. We can take that gaze up toward the left hand. And again, see if we can draw those arms back in line with the ears. We're going to inhale here, and as we exhale, see if we can hinge a little bit further to the right. We're going to inhale back to center, and as we exhale, we're going to hinge over to the left. Again, gaze can go up to the right hand. Keep the arms really super active here. As we inhale, press the hands away to the left, and as we exhale, hinge a little bit more. And we're really pressing that shoulder and hip to the right. Draw those arms back in line with the ears. One more inhale, extend through the arms, and exhale, release a little bit more to the left. Inhale back to center. And then exhale, we're going to press the palms out forward as far as we can go. Gently, we're going to press the palms forward as we hinge from the lower back. So coming into a little fold here. We're going to rest the palms down onto the ground, or maybe coming up high onto the fingertips, keeping the shoulders active here. As we inhale, press the chest forward. See if we can draw those shoulder blades back. And as we exhale, see if we can creep the fingertips forward a little bit more. See if we can hinge a little bit further forward into our fold. Relax the head, relax the neck. You're going to feel, if your legs are cross-legged, you're going to feel this into one glute more so than the other. Should feel a little bit of space into the lower back. So we're trying to mobilize the core in order to free up a little bit of space, so when we're doing our little engagements later, it's going to be a little bit easier to access. One more breath here. Every exhale, seeing if we can get a little bit deeper into that fold. And then inhale, tuck the chin in, walk the fingers back toward the body. Again, if we're an easy cross-leg, we're just going to reverse that crisscross so we can get into that opposite glute. Palms open to the ceiling. Inhale, arms out, reaching up. Interlocking fingers, pressing palms to the ceiling, and then gently from here, hinging from that lower back as we press the palms forward, resting the hands out in front or coming onto the fingertips to keep those shoulders active. As we inhale, again, pressing the chest forward, shoulders are back. And as we exhale, see if we can melt a little bit further into that fold. And don't worry if you're right up here. Once you're feeling the release into the glute and a little bit of space into the lower back, you're exactly where you need to be. So again, you might get deeper with practice, or it might be just something within your anatomy that you're not going to get fully into that fold. So please don't spend the class beating yourself up over your forward folds. We're all going to be totally different depending on where we've been before the class, what we've done all our lives. So again, once we're getting that release, that's what we want. Last breath here, see if you can fold just a little bit more. And then slowly tucking the chin in, walking the hands back toward the body. From here, we're going to lie down onto the mat. Just checking that you've got your towel beside you. Keeping the knees bent, feet flat onto the mat. We're going to hug that right knee into the chest, giving it a nice little squeeze. We're going to extend that left foot out fully. From here, we're going to lift the chin toward the knee. So keeping the chest open here, keeping the neck nice and strong. And then from here, we're going to hover the left foot off the ground. So it's at about 30 degrees. Just check in that you're really pressing the lower back into the mat here. So there's no gap between the lower back and the mat. We're going to hold it here for 3, for 2, a little bit more lift. And 1, slowly release. From here, inhale, pressing the shin into the hand. As we exhale, really squeezing that knee into the chest. Inhale, pressing shin into hand, activating. Exhale, knee to chest. 1 more, shin into hands. And exhale, hugging that knee in. From here, we're going to bend that left foot, bringing it flat onto the ground. We're going to bring that right ankle to rest just below the left knee, coming into our figure 4. We're going to walk that heel toward the body. Doing a nice strong flex into that right foot, working the right knee away from the body. We're going to inhale, lift the left foot off the ground, and we can either interlock the hands behind the back of that left hamstring, or if we find that we're rolling into the upper body, we can reach for our towel, wrapping it around the back of that hamstring, allowing us to get a little bit more extension through the arms, a little bit more space into the chest as we inhale. And as we exhale, we're working that left knee toward the face, working that right knee away from the body, and keeping that right toe moving in the direction of the right knee. So a nice flex into that right foot, feeling this into the right hip. Really breathe in here. As we exhale, see if we can get a little bit more depth. One last breath here. From here, we're going to release that left foot down, releasing the towel off to the side. We're going to keep our figure 4 here, working that left heel toward the body. Both hands are flat on the ground and fingertips are pointed towards the front of the mat. We're going to inhale, gently lift the hips. Lower back and middle back, upper back off the mat, coming into a little bridge pose in our figure 4. See if we can walk the shoulder blades together, keeping the palms flat onto the ground. Pressing the hips toward the ceiling and allowing that right knee drop out. Now the knee might be right up here. What we're looking for is a little release into the hips in our bridge. We're going to inhale, really press the hips toward the ceiling, pressing that left foot into the ground. And as we exhale, we're going to gently lower until we're about an inch off the ground. Inhale, pressing hips up. Exhale with control, gently lower. Inhale, pressing those hips skyward. Exhale, release. 2 more, inhale it up. Exhale, release. Last one, inhale it up. And then exhale, gently release the whole way down. From here, we're going to cross the right leg fully over the left, extending both arms out in line with the shoulders. We're going to shift the hips a little bit to the right and then allow both knees drop over to the left, coming into a lovely little spinal twist here. Just check in, we want that right hip literally stacked over the left, so if the knees aren't falling over easily, just shift the hips a little bit more to the right, see if we can create a little bit more space for that twist. Both shoulders are grounded, gaze is over the right fingertips. As we inhale, really filling the belly as full as we can with the breath. And as we exhale, just see if we can release a little bit deeper into that twist. Feel a nice little release into that right glute. So again, just freeing up the spine, the hips, the core, the abdominals. Last nice, long, deep, engaged breath here. Really releasing on that exhale. And then inhale, gently drawing it right back to center. Uncrossing the legs, we're going to hug that left knee in toward the chest, extending fully out through that right foot. Again, we're going to draw the chin toward the knee, so the upper body is going to lift off the mat, keeping the shoulders wide. Then we're going to gently hover that right foot off the ground. That right foot's nice and active. Right foot is at about 30 degrees off the ground. You might lower it a little bit more, but just make sure that the lower back is pressed into the mat, so there's no gap here. Again, see if we can lift the chest a little bit more, really engaging those upper abdominals. For 3, for 2, and 1. Gently release the foot, release the head. As we inhale, we're going to press the left shin into the hands, nice and active. As we exhale, really hugging that left knee in toward the chest, releasing those deep hip flexors. Inhale, pressing shin into hands. Exhale, hugging the left knee in. Last one, really pressing that shin into the hands. And then exhale, hugging that knee in. From here, we're going to bend the right knee, bringing the foot flat onto the ground and bringing our left ankle to rest just below the right knee, coming into our figure 4 on the other side. Again, that right heel is working toward the bum. Nice strong flex into the left foot as we work that left knee away. If it feels good, we're going to inhale that right foot off the ground, interlocking the hands or towel behind the back of that right hamstring. Again, checking in, those shoulder blades are hugging together. Shoulders are engaged with the mat, with the ground. Keeping the chest nice and open as we inhale. And as we exhale, see if we can work that right knee a little bit closer to the face and work that left knee away from the body. Again, checking in that lower back is stable, nice and stable, getting into our hips. We want that lower back fully supported. Again, really releasing with that exhale, getting a little bit deeper into that left glute, into that left hip. For 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly release that right foot down. Keeping our figure 4, we're going to walk that right heel back toward the bum. Both hands are flat, fingertips pointed toward the front of the mat. We're going to inhale, gently roll the lower back, middle back, upper back off the mat. We can walk the shoulder blades together here. So there's no pressure on the neck. We're pressing the hands, we're pressing the shoulders into the ground, we're pressing that right foot into the ground. Allow that left knee drop out as far as it's comfortable and keep that left foot nice and active. As we inhale, press the hips a little bit higher toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, gently, using the glutes and core to slowly lower about 1 inch off the ground. Inhale, pressing the hips high. Exhale, gently lower. Inhale, pressing skyward. Exhale, release it down, hover. 2 more, inhale up, really pressing that right foot into the ground. Exhale it lower. Last one, inhale up. And gently exhale, lower fully to the ground, release, release, release. We're going to cross that left foot over the right, extending both arms out in line with the shoulders, palms down. We're going to shift the hips a little bit to the left and then allow both knees drop over to the right. Taking the gaze over the left fingertips, checking in both shoulders are grounded into the mat. So we're getting that full twist through the spine. Again, if you're feeling those knees aren't dropping over fully, just shift the hips a little bit more to the left, creating that extra bit of space. As we inhale, really filling that belly. And as we exhale, see if we can release those knees a little bit further toward the ground, but keep that left shoulder grounded. So we're trying to release the full length of the spine. If that left shoulder starts coming off the mat, we're not actually going to access the upper parts of the spine in our twist. So that's where we're trying to keep that shoulder grounded. Last couple of breaths here. See if you can get a little bit more. And then slowly inhale back to center. We're going to uncross the legs, hugging both knees in toward the chest. We're going to crisscross at the ankles. And we're going to take 3 or 4 rolls forward and back along the mat, using that motion to really massage the full length of the spine into the mat. So when you've taken your 3 or 4 rolls, we're going to engage with the core with control, bringing ourselves up to seat. From here, we're going to go straight up onto our knees. So we've got hips over our knees here. If the knees feel a little bit cranky, feel free to put a towel in under the knees here. We're going to rest the hands so that the fingers are pointed down toward the earth. We're going to draw the shoulder blades back together. Elbows are tucked in. We're going to tuck the toes under here, bringing a nice flex to the feet. Looking up toward the ceiling, pressing the chest toward the ceiling, creating a little bit of space into the front of the body. Keeping those abdominals engaged. We're going to hold it here for 3, for 2, really pressing those hips forward, and 1. From here, we're going to bring the hands to heart center, so a little bit different this time. We're going to inhale, sit nice and tall, and as we exhale, keeping that long line from the legs through the spine, we're going to gently lower back as far as we can go until we feel the knees are going to lift. And then inhale with control, bringing it right back out front, hips are over the knees. Exhale, release it back. So again, really feeling those core muscles engage here. Feel a little bit into the quads too. Again, inhale with control, strong control movement here. Exhale, lower it back. Inhale it forward. Exhale it back. Again, as far as we can go. Inhale forward one more time. Exhale, release it back. Again, a little bit more each time. Keeping the spine long. Inhale it forward, nice and slow. And release. Brilliant. We're going to bring both hands to the front of the mat as we step back into our tabletop. Again, tabletop, shoulders over, elbows over wrists, elbow creases forward, knees stacked underneath the hips and about hip width distance apart. You can tuck the knees, or tuck the ankles if they feel a little bit niggly on the knees, or else we can flatten out through the feet. Cat-cow curls here. As we inhale, we're going to press the chest forward, gaze up toward the ceiling, arching through the spine. Exhale, pressing into the ground, curling through the spine, gaze back toward the belly, stretching the shoulders. Inhale, gaze goes forward and up, arching, little bend to the elbows. Exhale, curling through, gaze back to the belly, or maybe you can tuck in the chin into the chest a little. Inhale, gaze goes forward and up, arching. Exhale, pressing into the mat, curling through, release the shoulders. Continuing with your own breath, maybe closing down the eyes and just engaging with the movement. So not getting caught up really with what it looks like, just more so what it feels like. You're just trying to free up as much into the spine, creating as much blood flow, as much energy flow between all the little facets along the spine. Again, mobilizing before we start to activate into all those little core muscles. We're going to try to access some of those deeper core muscles. So some of the more obvious ones like our abdominals or the traditional six pack, but it's actually the deeper ones that really control the body. Slowly we're going to release it back into our tabletop. From here we're going to bring the left hand toward the center of the mat but slightly off center. We're going to check in that that left shoulder is still over the left wrist. We're going to extend right arm out, extend back through that left foot, press back through the left heel. Notice here if the belly starts to drop or if we're compressing into the lower back. So we're going to tuck the pelvis under, almost imagining sucking the belly button back toward the spine. You might find that left leg starts to drop, and then we're going to have to engage with that left glute to get that left leg back in line with the spine. Really extend out through those right fingertips. So nice active arm, nice active leg, nice flex left foot. Hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. As we inhale, bending right elbow, left knee into touch. Exhale, slowly extend it out and lift that back leg. Inhale, drawing it in, engage in those core muscles. Exhale, extend it out, engage that left glute. Inhale it in, exhale it out. Continuing with your own breath. Gaze is relaxed, so we're not stressing the neck out in front, but we're not looking back toward that belly. So gaze is probably about a foot out in front of us. Just think about the neck as an extension of the spine. The slower this movement, the more we're actually having to activate those core muscles to get us through the movement. Last 2. Last 1. Hold it out in extension for 3, for 2, and 1. Right hand comes back to the mat. We're going to come onto the ball of that left foot and just stretch out the back of that left leg. Give the arms a little bit of a rest here. Left knee comes to meet right. We're going to do the same on the other side. So that right hand comes toward the center, but slightly off center. We're going to extend that left arm out, extend back through that right foot. Again, notice if the belly's dropping, if the bum's popping up. We're going to engage with those abdominals, rolling the hips forward, feel that release in the lower back. Again, engage that right glute to get an extra little lift in the leg. Relax the gaze. Check in that that shoulder is still in line with the wrist, elbow crease slightly forward. We're really pressing into the ground with that right hand. Hold it here for 3. Nice active right foot for 2. And 1. Inhale, left elbow, right knee in. Exhale, extend it out and lift. Inhale, drawing it in. Exhale, extend it out. Inhale it in with control. Exhale, extend and lift. 3 more. 2 more. Last 1. Hold it out here for 3. Keep that leg high for 2. And 1. Left hand comes to meet right, coming onto the ball of that right foot. Gently pressing the ball of the foot into the mat, pressing back through the heel, getting a little stretch in behind the leg. For 3, for 2, and 1. Right knee comes to meet left. We're going to tuck the toes under, really spread the fingers nice and wide, pressing the finger pads and knuckles into the mat as we gently lift the hips toward the ceiling and draw those heels down toward the ground. Coming into our downward dog. Really pressing the ground away actively. Draw the chest toward the mat, lifting the hips, feeling that space in the lower back. Again, see if we can come high on the tippy toes and then gently release the heels down. See if we can activate the quads to create a little bit more space into the backs of the legs. Gently walk it out here in our downward dog. Nice and easy. Getting a nice little stretch into the hamstrings, the calves, maybe Achilles. Nice little release into the lower back here. Coming to stillness, looking forward between the hands. We're going to gently walk to the front of the mat. Bringing the feet about the width of the mat apart. Now, if you have a block, you can use it here. You might bring your feet a little bit closer together. Otherwise, feet are nice and wide until we can gently touch the ground without bending the knees. So there'll be a slight bend to the knees. We're not totally locking out, but nice and gentle. Left fingertips rest on the ground or on the block. We're going to inhale that right arm up toward the ceiling. Weight is going back into the heels and hips, so we should be able to wiggle the toes quite easy here. Really working that right shoulder back. Gaze goes up if it's okay on the neck. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, left arm up and open. Exhale, release and fold. Inhale, right arm up and open. Exhale, sigh it out as we fold. Inhale, left arm up and open. Exhale. Inhale, right arm up and open. Exhale. Inhale, left. Continue with your own breath. So on that fold, I want you to really just release the body, release the breath. Last one, both sides. Stay here in our fold. We're going to gently tuck the chin in and then slowly, slowly rise up to stand. Lovely. We're going to go into a few rounds of our sun salutations with a focus on our plank. So again, I'm going to hold you a little bit longer in plank, making sure that we've got all our alignments right. If at any stage plank is becoming a little bit too much, it's a little bit too much on the shoulders. So just think about it. We're pressing the ground all the time away from the body. If we start to dump, that's going to really hurt our shoulders. So we're pressing the ground away. If it's still too much, you can come down onto the knees, but keep that length of the spine so the bum's not popping up into the air. We're keeping those abdominals engaged and those glutes engaged. Okay? So drop down to the knees at any stage that you need. You're still getting that core workout. Coming to the mat, feet are grounded about hip-width distance apart, spreading through the toes, really anchoring the feet into the ground. Hands to heart center, shoulders away from the ears, abdominals engaged, legs engaged, slight little bend to the knees, so nice relaxed in the knees all the time. Inhale, arms out, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins, nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, left foot to meet it. Hold it here in plank. Check in. Shoulders over elbows over wrists. Elbow creases rotated to the front of the mat. Really spread through the hands. Press the ground away. So again, check in that you're not dumping into the shoulders. Almost like you're pressing against a wall here. Pressing back through those heels for 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, knees to the mat, chest to the mat and chin. Keeping the elbows tucked in, rolling the heart forward. Untucking the toes, pressing the feet into the ground, lifting the chest forward. Exhale, tucking the toes, downward dog. Walking it out. So use your downward dog to make any little adjustments to the body, to reconnect with the breath, to calm the mind. We're going to inhale that right leg up, looking forward, stepping right foot in with control and as many steps as you need. Left foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, right foot to meet it. Again, nice strong plank here. Check in where that bum's at. So where the hips dropped is the bum up in the air. So we want that nice strong line from the base of the neck, down through the spine, out through the legs, and pressing back through those heels. Keep those shoulders over the wrist for 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the mat. Rolling the heart forward, untucking the toes, pressing the feet into the ground, lifting the chest. Exhale, tucking the toes, downward dog. Again, gently walking it out. So feel free to bring stillness to your downward dog if that feels better for you. Just depends where you're at. I always like to get that extra little stretch into the backs of the legs. And again, a nice active stretch, so a nice little dynamic stretch here.
We're going to inhale that left leg up, looking forward, stepping left foot into lunge, right foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up. Exhale, hands to heart. Second round, when you're ready. Same starting pose. Catching in with your breath. We're going to inhale, rise up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, left foot to meet it. Again, choose to stay here in our plank, really work on those core muscles. If you want to join me in side plank, we're going to bring the left hand to the center of the mat, rolling over onto the outer blade of that left foot, checking in that shoulder is in line with the wrist. We can bring the right hand to the waist, working that right shoulder back. We might extend that right arm up toward the ceiling. We might take the gaze toward that hand, pressing the hips skyward. And again, we might even hover that right foot off the left, bringing the foot up in line with the hip. Again, checking if the bum is sticking out to the back, really press the hips forward. Hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Right foot rest down, right hand comes back to meet left, readjusting into our plank. Inhale here, exhale, knees, chest, chin, or if you want to join me in chaturanga, we're drawing the chest forward. So again, so much so that we shouldn't be able to lift the fingers off the mat. So if our chest is back here, notice I can move my fingertips. If my chest is in the right place, I'm not dumping into the wrists, so I shouldn't actually be able to move my fingers off the mat. Keeping the elbows tucked in, we're going to gently lower toward the ground, about an inch off the ground, on tucking the toes, pressing the chest forward, baby cobra or upward dog. If we're in upward dog or baby cobra, we're not dumping into our shoulders. So we're rolling those shoulders back, pressing the feet into the ground. Exhale, downward dog. You get a little bit flowier on the other side. Again, walking it out, whatever feels good. Inhale, right leg up, looking forward, stepping right foot into lunge, left foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, right foot to meet it. Again, feeling free to stay here, working on your plank, feel free to drop down onto the knees. Or we can bring that right hand to the center. Coming over onto the outer blade of that right foot. Again, if that doesn't feel good, come on to the right knee. Just keep the hips pressed up. So again, your variation. Right shoulder stacked over the wrist wherever we are. Left hand resting the hip. Maybe we extend that left arm up toward the ceiling. Pressing the chest forward, opening the heart. Maybe we hover that left foot. Keep the left foot active. See if we can draw it up in line with the hip. For 3, for 2, and 1. Release the foot, release that left hand to meet the right. Readjust our hand position back into our plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga down. Either way, we're keeping those elbows tucked in. Pressing the chest forward, drawing the shoulders back. Pressing the feet into the ground. Activating those abdominals so we're not dumping into that lower back. Exhale, downward dog. Walking it out, well done. We're going to inhale that left leg up, looking forward, stepping left foot into lunge, right foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up. Exhale, hands to heart. Last round. Again, feel free to do what we've done in the last couple of rounds, working on that, or we're just going to add in a couple of variations. Coming to the front of the mat, reconnecting with the breath. Hands to heart center, rolling those shoulders back, engage the core. Inhale, arms out, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. We're either going to step or jump back to plank. If we're jumping, nice deep bend to the knees, engage with our core. We're jumping as light as we can with control. If we're stepping, left foot back, holding it here in plank. From here, from our high plank, and again, choose to stay here if you wish, we're going to lower onto our forearms, coming into our low plank. Again, check in that bum's not sticking up into the air. We're going to hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. We're going to bring that left forearm parallel to the front of the mat, and we're going to come into our side plank. Again, feel free to come down onto that left knee if it doesn't feel so good. Right hand rests on the hip, or right arm extends toward the ceiling. We're going to draw that right leg in line with the hip and maybe a little bit higher if we can. Hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, right foot comes down, right forearm comes back, left forearm comes back out front. And with control, bringing right hand, left hand back into a nice high plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to the ground. Elbows in, rolling the heart forward, baby cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Wherever we're at, we're going to either step or we're going to lightly jump to the front of the mat. If we're jumping, we're taking a really deep bend to the knees, pressing into the balls of the feet. Looking between the hands where we want those feet to land. Engage in the abs, engage in the core. And as we inhale, pressing back. As we exhale, gently jumping forward, nice and lightly. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up. Exhale, last time, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Again, stepping left and right foot back, or gently jumping back to plank with control, nice and lightly landing on the feet. Think of the feet as our springs, keeping that core strong. Holding it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Continuing to hold it in high plank, or coming on to left forearm, right forearm. Holding it here in our low plank. Again, check in, the bum's not up in the air, the hips aren't dropped toward the ground, keeping that nice length in the spine. We're going to bring the right forearm parallel to the front of the mat as we gently roll over onto the outer blade of that right foot. Again, feel free to come down onto that right side or onto the right knee. Left hand to hip, or we might extend that arm up toward the ceiling. Again, notice that the bums pop back, press the hips forward. If it feels good, we might hover the left foot in line with the hip, or maybe go a little bit higher. For 3, for 2, and 1. Release the left foot down, release that left forearm to the front of the mat, right arm comes parallel to it. Gently, we're going to bring it right back into our high plank. Hold it here. When you're ready, as we exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to the ground, rolling the heart forward, baby cobra, or upward dog. Exhale, tucking the toes, downward dog. Really feeling strength in your flow this evening, guys. Walking it out whenever you need, reconnecting with the breath. We can either inhale the left leg up, or if we want to spring load those legs again, bending through the knees, coming onto the balls of the feet. So again, feel that springiness in the balls of the feet. Looking forward between the hands, we're going to inhale, bounce back. As we exhale, engage the core and gently jump to the front of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up. Exhale, hands to heart. Well done. Take a drink if you need it. So with our jump forwards and our jump backs, that's all about core activation. So we know if we're activating our core, if our landing is light. If we're jumping back and we're banging into the mat, we're not utilizing the control of our core muscles. So it's a good one to practice. Lovely. Okay, back to the core. I'm just going to show you a little sequence that we're going to be doing. Again, if you come to my classes, you're going to know this one. So we're going to be starting in our downward dog. So if you just want to watch to start with. So from our downward dog, we're going to inhale, first time right leg up. As we exhale, we're going to draw the right knee to touch the right elbow, but we're moving fully forward into plank until the shoulders are over the wrists. So inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right knee to nose into plank. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right knee to left elbow, twist in our plank. If that's a little bit too much in the shoulders, wrists, or just the body's just not feeling it this evening, we can do that on the left knee, but keep the core long, keep the chest moving forward, okay? So we'll start at the front of the mat when you're ready. So that's just the main little section. Hands to heart, feet grounded, about hip width distance apart. Catch in with your breath here. We're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge. Keeping right arm grounded. We're going to inhale that left arm up toward the ceiling, really extending through the fingertips. Pressing back through that right heel, drawing that left shoulder back, opening the heart for 3, for 2, and 1. Left hand comes back to the mat. We're going to gently release that right knee to the ground. And we're going to inhale the arms up in line with the ears, coming into a nice low lunge here. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale here at center. As we exhale, we're going to rotate to the left and we're going to open the arms nice and wide. Again, if this feels good, if you feel in control, we can press into the ball of that right foot, lifting off that right knee, only if we can control it. So feel stable in the twist. Hold it here for 3, for 2, really opening those arms wide, and 1. If this feels good, we can rest the left hand on the back leg, extend that right arm up toward the ceiling and draw that right arm back overhead. Again, this can be done with the right knee on the ground. You're still getting a beautiful pose out of this. So again, lifting the knee just allows us a little bit more balance. We're accessing a little bit more balance. Gently draw the arms wide, hands back to heart as we inhale, back to center. Both hands come to the front of the mat. We're going to step the left foot back to meet right. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to the mat. Rolling the heart forward, baby cobra, upward dog, pressing those feet into the ground. Exhale, downward dog. Again, get nice and comfy in your downward dog here before we go into that little sequence I just showed you. Catch in with the breath. Lift the hips high, create that space in the lower back, that space into the chest. Come into stillness. We're going to inhale the right leg up. As we exhale, drawing right knee to touch the right elbow forward into plank. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right knee toward the nose, forward into plank. Inhale, right leg up, engage the glutes. Exhale, right knee to left elbow, plank. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Continue to your own breath. It's a slow, controlled movement. Pressing back through that left heel all the time. As we inhale, extend, engage the glutes. As we exhale, move forward, engage the rest of the core. Moving from center to side to side. Last revolution. Again, feel free to come onto that left knee at any stage. Do not battle the sequence. Do not do the pose when you're all fatigued. So we don't want to be dumping into those shoulders. Last one, center. And then exhale, both knees to the ground. Knees together, toes together. Sitting back onto the heels, pressing the ground away. Resting the head onto the mat. And then bringing the hands back at the feet. Just coming into a nice relaxed child's pose. Maybe rocking the hips side to side. Just really allowing those shoulders melt down toward the earth. Feeling that space between the shoulder blades. Calm the breath. Both hands extend back out in front. Coming up through tabletop, we're going to press the toes under, pressing it back to downward dog. Inhale, right leg up, looking forward, stepping right foot into lunge. Left foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins, nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, keeping left hand grounded. We're going to inhale that right arm up toward the ceiling, pressing through the fingertips. Pressing back through that left heel. Again, at any stage you need to drop to that left knee, please do. Hold it here, opening the heart for 3, for 2, and 1. Right hand comes back to meet the left. Releasing that left knee to the ground. As we inhale off the leg, arms come up in line with the ears. Exhale, hands to heart. Low lunge here. Inhale, lengthen the spine. As we exhale, twist to the right. And we're going to open the arms nice and wide. Find your balance here. If that feels good, if that feels stable, we can press into the ball of that left foot, lifting off that left knee, keeping the arms nice and wide. For 3, for 2, and 1. Right hand rests on the back leg, left arm extends up toward the ceiling. Again, feel free to come down onto that left knee. You're still getting a beautiful pose, so do not battle the twist. Feel that stability. Maybe the gaze goes toward the ceiling if you want to challenge the balance a little bit more from last week. For 3, for 2, and 1. Arms back out wide, hands back to heart center as we rotate to the front. We're going to bring both hands to the front of the mat, stepping right foot back to meet left into our plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to the ground. Rolling the heart forward, baby cobra or upward dog. Exhale, tucking the toes, downward dog. Again, walking it out, getting ready for a little core activator, a little core glute activator on the other side. Relax the breath, give the head a little shake, relax the neck. When you're ready, come into stillness. We're going to inhale that left leg up. As we exhale, bending the left knee and drawing it toward the left elbow forward into plank. Shoulders are over the wrists. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, left knee toward the nose. Inhale, left leg up, pressing back into that right heel. Exhale, left knee to right elbow, twist and plank. Continuing both sides from center to side to side. Again, feel free to come down onto that right knee at any stage. You're still getting that lovely glute activation, keeping the core and the spine long, and you're still getting that lovely core activation. So don't feel that you have to battle through it. Use the breath. Inhale, lift and extend. Exhale, lower to the front of the mat. Last one. As we move through each side, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. This time as we lower both knees onto the ground. Keeping the feet together, we're going to walk the knees about the width of the mat apart, coming into a wide-legged child's pose. Pressing the ground away, sit bones back onto the heels. As we rest the head down onto the mat or onto a block if it doesn't get there comfortably. So just once it's connected, it's getting a wee rest. Maybe bringing the hands back by the feet, or we can always make a little pillow by piling one hand on top of the other. And just gently rocking the hips side to side. Release the lower back, release the glutes. Release it out, let it go. Again, touching in with the breath here, seeing how it feels. From here, extending the arms out in front. We're going to walk those knees back together, coming up into our tabletop. And from here, we're going to gently lower onto the forearms, shift the knees back and come gently onto the belly. So we're going to come into our Sphinx pose here. So we've got our shoulders stacked over our elbows, forearms are parallel to each other.
Hands are spread, so fingers are spread, rooted into the ground. We're going to press the forearms into the mat. We're going to draw the chest forward and we're going to work the shoulders away from the ears. See if we can activate the abdominals to take the pressure off the lower back. So release the lower back here. Keep the legs active, keep the feet pressed into the ground. Hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. We can choose to stay here for the next few breaths, or we can come into our seal pose. So we're going to flail the hands out, so like the little flippers of a seal. So coming out at angles. We're going to gently press the hands into the mat as we bring the forearms off the mat, but keep a nice bend to the elbows, so we're not locking out into the arms. So keep a nice bend to the elbows. Still draw the shoulders back, so we're not jumping into the shoulders, rolling the shoulders back. And again, finding that little core, that little abdominal activation to release the lower back. Hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly lower onto the forearms. We're going to really gently just press it back into traditional child's pose, just for a couple of breaths here. As a little counter pose, bring the hands back by the feet. Just release that lower back. Really sigh out that exhale, allow the body fully relax. Extending both arms back out in front, coming back into our tabletop. And from here, we're going to crisscross at the ankles and sit back up onto the mat. So last little core activation sequence. I'll just check my time here. Yeah, we're all good. If you have a block, we're going to use it here. If you don't, I'll show you a variation without the block. The block just allows us a little bit more connection with the upper and lower core. So we're going to lie back onto the mat. Feet are flat. We're really pressing the lower back into the mat here as much as we can. We're going to bring the feet off the mat and we're going to bring the legs out at 90-degree angles. So we've got the knees over the hips and back in line with the heels and toes, 90-degree angles. And again, notice if there's a big space between the lower back and the mat. So I want you to press that lower back until there's no gap here, even if that means bringing the knees a little bit closer to the body or a little bit further away. So finding your point where that lower back is engaged. From here, we're going to reach for our block and we're going to place it underneath that right knee and we're going to hook the right elbow to hold it in place and we're going to rest the head into the hand. So again, if we don't have the block, we're just going to remove it all together. So it just allows that extra little bit of engagement, okay? So still caressing the head into that right hand. If it doesn't feel good on the neck, we can release altogether. So this little lift of the chest forward just allows us to engage with those upper abdominals. I like to keep my hand on my abdominals to feel the engagement, but you can always place it out to the side, so whatever feels good for you. So I'm going to do mine with the block here. So from here, we're already engaging with muscles. We're flattening out through the lower back. So we're getting a core activation to the front with a lower back activation to the back. When you're ready, we're going to extend that left foot out, pressing away through the heel and hovering it at about 30 degrees off the ground. If you find at 30 degrees the lower back starts to disconnect from the mat, you can bring that foot up again a little bit more until you can press that lower back into the mat. We're going to inhale, left knee to touch right knee in. Exhale, extend it out, pressing away through that left heel. Inhale, drawing it in, 90 degrees. Exhale, extend it out. Inhale it in. Exhale it out. Inhale it in. Exhale it out. 3 more. We could keep going with this if you're really working on that core activation. So notice we're keeping the spine strong. We're not weakening in, we're not curling through the spine. So our whole core musculature is activating here. Last one. And then gently back to center. Release the head down, release the block. Bring the feet to the ground. Feet are about the width of the mat apart. Allow the knees knocked together and just gently windscreen wiping the knees side to side. Maybe taking the gaze the opposite way as to where the knees are falling. Just wringing it out, letting it go. Again, hands wherever you wish. Maybe coming into cactus arms, getting a little bit of space into the chest, whatever feels good. And then gently drawing it back to center. Again, feet, knees together, hands rest in the belly to start with. We're going to bring those knees again up, over, directly in line with the hips, heels out in line with the knees, and a nice flex to the toes here. Again, pressing that lower back into the ground to start with before we do anything. Again, this in itself is a lovely activation. If you want to bring the brick or the block into it, we're going to place it underneath the left knee this time, hooking the left elbow, holding the block into place with the elbow and the leg. And again, you don't need that, just imagining that you're holding something here. You can use a ball, but it's just not as stable as the blocks. But really good if you're working on those little balance muscles. Again, we're going to press the chin up toward the ceiling, resting the neck or the base of the head into that left hand. Again, if it doesn't feel good, rest the head down, maybe you can place a little pillow there. So if you just notice we're activating those upper abs with that lift, we're still working the rest of the body without it. Again, we can choose to hold it here if we feel that's strong enough, really pressing the lower back into the mat. Or we're going to inhale center, and as we exhale, we're going to press out through that right heel, hovering the foot again at about 30 degrees if we can get it. Maybe it's closer to 45. Just checking in, there's no space underneath that lower back. So full engagement of the lower back. Hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale, center. Exhale, release the right foot out, pressing away through the heel. Inhale, center. Exhale, extend it out. Inhale at center. Exhale, release. Inhale, center. Exhale, pressing it away. 3 more. Inhale, center. You're doing really good. Exhale, release. 2 more, center. Exhale, release. Last one, center. Exhale, release it out. Draw it back to center. Relax the head. Removing the block if you have one. Relax the feet onto the ground. Feet about hip-width distance apart. Knees knocked together to start with. Maybe draw the arms out in line with the shoulders here, palms down, and gently windscreen wiper the knees side to side, taking the gaze the opposite way as to where the knees are falling. Really pressing those knees down, getting that full release into the sides of the body, into the hips, into the glutes, really pressing the lower back and glutes into the mat. There's a little extra bonus massage into the lower body. Few more twists side to side. Nearly there. And then gently coming back to center. We're going to hug those knees in toward the chest. Maybe rocking a little bit side to side, maybe making a few little circles on the lower back, just massaging it out and letting it go. And then we're going to gently extend the legs out fully along the mat. Pressing away through the toes. We're going to extend the arms back, overhead, reaching back through the fingertips. So taking a lovely full body stretch here. Maybe stretching right, stretching left, just working it out through the joints. See if we can make ourselves a little bit longer, a little bit taller, just by stretching from fingertips right down to our tippy toes. Nice, and then slowly hugging those knees back in toward the chest, giving them a nice little squeeze, and then release the grip, allow the feet to come flat onto the mat. Gently roll over onto our right hand side. Just take a little breath here, touching in where the body's at, where the head is at, where the breath is at. And when you're ready, we're going to gently press into the ground to slowly draw ourselves up to seat. Head comes up last, nice and slowly. And just meeting in any comfortable seated position for you. So that might be cross-legged, it might be sitting back on the heels, it might be legs extended out in front. So whatever feels good. Noticing how that core feels. Notice the heat, the engagement, that strength. We're going to open the palms toward the ceiling, drawing the shoulders back, and we'll take 3 active closing breaths together. When you're ready, inhale, arms out, reaching up. Interlocking fingers, exhale, sign it out. 2 more. Last one. And then gently bringing the hands together at heart center, pressing the palms together, closing down the eyes, and just thanking ourselves for creating a wee bit of space in our evening to come to the mat, to look after ourselves, to create some really good energy and some really good strength this evening, and hopefully bring that with you into the evening and into the week ahead. And thank you, as always, for sharing that energy with me. Namaste.